Hi there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexandra from Sesala DIY, and this week's sewing idea is a teal color for dress without a zipper and long silky straps. I noticed that this design pattern has a lot of different ways it could be transformed, which makes it a real great option to keep in mind for future projects. Plus, it's pretty easy to create, so it's definitely worth considering. Okay, so let's make it! You'll need 3 meters of fabric for the main dress and some extra fabric if you want to make the straps different, around 20 centimeters wide. Let's see now how to make the pattern. Start with the basic bodice block. Cut it, as you can see in the second picture, eliminate the waist dart and redraw the corner. Here is how the front pattern piece looks. Now we are gonna work on the back of the bodice. The process is pretty similar to the front of the bodice. Cut it, as you see in the second picture. Eliminate the waist dart. Of course, if you want to make your bodice more form-fitting, keep the darts. The last step was to cut from the center back around 3 centimeters to make room for the loops, and once again redrew the corner. And here is the back pattern piece. Here is how I work on the actual fabric. Front, and back. I cut it twice because I made a lining of the same fabric. Here you can see the pattern of the straps. Try to cut the straps on the bias of the fabric. The final pattern piece to complete the dress is the tier skirt. Here are the measurements for my skirt. You can use the same measurements or you can make your own adjustments. I cut each ruffle according to my measurements. I also cut a piece of fabric to make the string. Optional, you can add pocket. Here are my measurements. I made mine from the same fabric as the dress. Now that we have all the pattern pieces we need, it's time to start the sewing process. We begin with the strap. Sew it and press it. And because it's a fabric that it's fraying a lot, I trim it very close to the edge and use a lighter to stop the fraying. Next, turn it inside out. And I will press it one more time. The next step is sewing the bodice. Start with the bust darts. Pin and sew them. Press it. Attach the sides. Press the new seams. And because my fabric is thin, I decided to use interfacing for the upper stitch. Cut the back if you didn't modify your pattern. And now you can choose where to place the straps. Sew the straps. Place the lining face to face. Sew it. Because we have a curved seam under the arm, we clip the edge. Now you can also curve the corners if you didn't do it before. The next step was to make an understitch. Press the seam. Now was the time to make the back loops. You can use the same fabric or another one if you prefer. I made a string 3 centimeters wide and as long as you can. Sew it For the next step, take a piece of paper. Measure how long is your center back and decide how many loops you want to have. Mark your paper at an equal distance. Cut the loops as long as you want. Mine is around 5 cm long, and final will be 2 cm long. Pin it on the paper. For more stability, sew it. Now that we have our loops on the paper, we can place it on the back. I use interfacing for the center back edges too. Sew over the paper. Afterwards, rip the paper. And close the back. Here is how the center back looks after I press it. Now we can work on the pockets. Sew the pocket. Use the serger for the edges. Press the openings. We can now attach the pockets to the skirt. Moving to the skirt. Gather all skirt pieces. Measure where to place the pocket. Pin the pockets with the edge on the edge of the skirt face to face. Sew the pocket. Use the serger for the edge. Pin and sew the side openings. Be careful not to sew the pocket. Press the pocket. For the back of the skirt, I made a little fabric rectangle to hide the skirt opening. Make it around 10 cm wide with 40 cm long. And I made a loop to close the skirt too. Attach the rectangle. Sew it. And use the serger to clean the edge. Close the back of the skirt. Press the seam. I will sew another stitch to keep the fabric in place and clean. Be careful not to sew the edge to the rectangle. Here is how the closing of the skirt looks. Later, I will sew a button for the back. Let's continue with the rest of the skirt. Pin the second and the third ruffles too. Sew it. Use the serger for each new stitch. Make the hem of the skirt. Now is the time to gather all the ruffles. I will increase my stitch to the maximum length and sew 2 parallel lines to each ruffle. Gather the ruffles and start to attach them face to face. First ruffle, second ruffle, and finally the third ruffle. Use the serger for each seam for a cleaner look. And of course those loops need a string, so I'm gonna make one from a piece of fabric. It will be around 3 centimeters wide and 1 meter long. Sew it, press it and insert it into the loops. And I finished the dress by sewing a button for the skirt. Now I can show you the dress. I absolutely love wearing this dress. The vibrant colors and cheerful patterns made it perfect for the warm summer weather, and I can't wait to wear it again. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions or advice, as usual my comment section is open. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and share with other sewist enthusiasts. Until next time, let's find inspiration.
You're giving me wings.